All right, guys, Stingham here with John. We're going to go over how to identify entry on the long and short on the 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart, and the 4-hour. And hopefully this will help you guys kind of give you some confirmation on when to enter. All right. All right, John, take it away.
Okay, so coming into today, we had a big drop. We wanted to see the halfback touch at 28. I think I removed it, but the halfback was at 28 today, where it was going to roll down, and it literally failed around here, right? Then coming into London selling already at the highs, if you see the high of London's close range, it literally popped his head above, failed it, and came down. It was going to come down to his low. Now you're going into 4 hours of sell-off, right? And then our new 4-hour candle starts at 9. So realistically, what we expect is a move up. But first, we expect a new low, right? Because we're still in the first 4 hours. So we expect a down move and then an up move right back into it. But if you look at the time, when we move back into it, we reclaim that low that we had established before the dip down. So this is a play to go long. You got a low, a lower low, and a higher low. I think I put in the chat this, that I wanted to see it, come down to 10, which is a halfback on a 4-hour over here, which I was looking at. So I was buying down here. I did buy up here because of the wick. I wanted to buy 13. And then when it came down, I added on this. Took profit on the way up and then exited at 22, which was my exit, which was literally this candle right here. Now you could took this all the way at halfback, but like I was saying, I was going to expect a move downward into London's close because we held the halfback and we ran right back into the halfback right here. And then it was going to come down, and I said the next play is going to be into London's close for the long. Expected to go above 17. Now, the reason we said that is because it held the halfback here, came back up the halfback, then it dipped down. Now, you could have took a nice short up there. I gave the short at 31.28, 28 to 31 area. And why did I do that? Well, let's look at it on the 4 hours so you can see it. We go to a 4 hour, and then you're going to see what happens. And then we'll talk about last night. So this is the candle that we were trading into. We dipped under, came back up. Now this is, printed already because we came back to the low side. And then we came back up. And what do? We hit 28 and the 31 I was talking about. There was a halfback up there. So I was projecting that. And if you look at the London's close, this is also halfback at 28. So it's very crucial to look at this like this. It's very important to set up because then you're going to see what it's going to do. We swept the low, right? Reclaimed it, came back up, and we swept the high of the candle. I think I talked about this last night, that it was going to do that as well. So this is the candle last night that I was talking about, and it was going into time, and Dobbs was like, that's it isn't going. Now you can understand that if we were going to go last night, it was going to move downward more. Price was going to reject it here, and price should have moved down. But going into that candle, we did not do that. So what did we do? We went back up, we swept the high of this candle, and then into midnight, what we do? We swept this candle, and then we sold downward. So the movement was downward. London opened and sold it. They sold it right into what's called. Look, right here, we failed the low. So London opened, hit his head, came back down. Came back down, and we hit our target, which was right here. The 1375, which on the daily is the low of a candle. So we swept the low of the candle, came back up, and swept the high of this candle. And then into London's close, we saw that we held. So when it held, I said it on the chat, on the 30-minute, this was a bullish candle right here. London's close on the 30-minute was very bullish. So you see, this is kind of the play that if you were going to go long,
right? It's a pin bar.
Yeah, if you were going to go long, you don't go long on this. You wait for confirmation. You see how we swept the high. What we come back do? We held half back of this candle. Even if you didn't get in here, you still had an opportunity to get here. And it took off. You know, the target for this was up here, but since it hit already, then you're looking for a long play still, because this is a pin bar to take it to the highs. Now, where we go right back to halfback. You could have took it away at 28, you could have took it away at 31 or whatever, but this was very bullish into the close. Well, at least as far as this, but it took out 1 high, 2 high, 3 high. So you're gonna expect a pullback that's gonna sweep the last high. Came down and swept the last high. Now this sell-off here at the end is something, because I said watch 17. Did we close above 17? So look at the 4 hour. We're closing above 17. So it's very important that we look at we think in our mind. You don't have to look at it. You have to realize the times that these candles start. It's very important. Very important. Now the longs on this, entries for this, here comes the candles. 6 a.m. range was down here. We swept to the downside. Going into the 9 o'clock candle, look when the long really develops. After the 4 o'clock candle develops right here, it's a long right to halfback. This is confirmation. This is the exaggerated move down. Came back up, held halfback, went to halfback. If you want to make it as simple as that, we have more technical things which I share, but people, you know, simple as this. Don't worry about the technicals. But when I'm saying I'm long to 22, it's for a reason. Really, I just took it from here to this high right here. And if you see it, that's the last high that never cleared. Yeah, it went to halfback, but I exited over here. And that was before even the play took. I was down here already long because of other technical things I have. And then here, I would have took this long here too. Look, on a 15-minute. Now, this is London's close. How do you have confirmation to know that London's a buy? London did if you looked at 30-minute or you weren't looking at it, this is London's close. It popped up, came back. What we do? We held halfback. So you could buy here or you could buy on this candle. Look, you got another entry here. You don't want to just short this though at the high. Say, oh, it's gonna fail here or here. No, this could just keep going and going and go close the gap. So was this a buy? No, this was a short. Look, halfback right here. Failed, halfback. Let's go to the lows. We almost hit the low of that 4-hour candle, which I bought off of. Because I wanted to dip down and take the long off at the open. But then I knew it was going to go halfback to halfback, which says another halfback up here. I rejected really hard and then came back down. And then there was a dip up. So let's look at yesterday's play. Yesterday's play, you could have waited to 10 o'clock. Now, there isn't anything at 10 o'clock going on, but it usually changes trend. So after 10 o'clock, there should have been a buy. This is London's open candle right here, right? 30 minutes. It looked like a buy, but look, dead flag. What's up here? The same thing that was at the bottom. And I said, yo, we failed 24 and rejected it. If you go on a small time frame, you're going to see it. We rejected 24 and we went straight down. In fact, we went straight down. We were going to hold 83 here somewhere. Yeah, 83 and didn't hold. Heading to London's close, we dipped down, right? And then this is a buy right here, at least to 70, halfback of London's close. So if you take the high of this is what we say about setting up. Take the high, take the low, look where we reject. So after we couldn't get above here, and it was bouncing off of a weekly halfback. So right here, taking it long here, but as long as it hits a halfback and it isn't doing it, it isn't going to work out. We're looking for a downplay. When's the short start? On this candle right here. Do you have opportunity to get in? Yes, you do right here. We're rolling over. I did take this short on the phone and got stuck in it until I got home. But it was a nice short until the end of the day. and it worked out right here. So you got to find opportunities where you start feeling halfback. You can use the 15-minute, you can use the 30-minute. The longer the time frame, the more confirmation you have on it. You know, everything we have works on it. And then you have the range that we had that literally hit down here at 44. So all that is stuff that we teach, and then we literally it was just continuation. And then we looked into continuation into Asia. So Asia did the same thing. Right, here's your candle. What do you do? Pop this head up. What do you do? Failed halfback. Halfback fail, came down. And it went into time. This time right here is also a 4-hour start. So 4-hour cheese, guess what it did? It came back up and swept the 4-hour top to sell off into midnight. So midnight it started selling off, and then it reset itself. It tried to at least. And it kind of did a short here into London's open. London's open, sold off. You could have probably got this short right here because we were below this candle. This is a halfback failed here. You could have failed right here, another halfback right here. Right here, it didn't even attempt halfback, it just kept going. But there was a target to hit. This was a halfback right here at 28. And that's why I was holding up. Once it failed at 28, and I think I said in the chat, once it fell 28, we're going down to 4, I think it was 14 and 13, 1375 was the target on that drop. But it was a low of a daily candle, and this was the halfback of a daily candle. And we were failing it. So that was a continuation move. And if you have a moving average on it, just rock it, send it with the moving average until we break it. We didn't break any moving average here. If you put a smaller time frame moving average, it doesn't break it. What you have to do is take the plays at the high. We're going downtrend. Take the plays from a halfback. Take the plays in the halfback and then ride it down to your goal. I think that's about it, right, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, that's
and then look at the 4 hours from prior day.
Yeah, it's about as simple as it is. The 4 hours kind of hard because the candle's already reprinted and set in stone. That's why it's important to look at these candles as it's printing, so you kind of get a feel of how the candle actually forms, especially on a 4 hour.
So the 4 hour, if you had the 4 hour jotted last night right here from this low and the box, once we went underneath the 4 hour, we hit a 4 hour high right here, which was my target. I think I got out 41, right, Dobbs?
Yeah.
Dobbs wrote it a little bit down because we expected a move down. And it did happen. It just happened after midnight. They haven't been selling it in Asia how they usually do. They've been waiting for midnight and it reset. So if the play is there again, you know, you take it again. But this time midnight sold it off and it just continued down. It didn't even hold the halfback down here. It just went straight to the lows, which is it's an important candle on the chart. So, I mean, the setup is what you have to do. If you do a setup, you're going to see what it's doing. And then you have a better judgment of where to take the play and what it's doing. The entries, you have to work on the entries, and you can't be on a 1 minute, you can't be on a 2 minute. You know, you're gonna have to shoot for a bigger time frame so you could get a bigger play.
Yep.
If you're on a smaller time frame and you're taking bigger risk, it's riskier. It's just that, it's riskier. If you're on a bigger time frame, you're gonna have to buckle in and take the ride. And I promise you that the ride that you're gonna take is gonna be the right one. If you really set up, you're gonna see it and follow the what we talk about. Okay. Every play and every target that hit today was literally called out.
Yep.
Everything was called out for the last week or so. We called everything out. Where it's headed, what it's doing, why it's doing. So, you know, it's literally, you have to adjust to you have to let go of everything that you've learned as wrong and then adjust to certain things, but you'll be all right. And then there was no long in this candle because this was a breakdown all the way down to the, once we broke halfback at 28, this was a breakdown. I think by accident, they were afraid to take this trade here at 28. I say, 28 is halfback, but when we failed the halfback, and right here is the 4 hour. So once we failed the 4 hour, we literally, if you look at this, when we came up here, let me leave that 28, but let's go on a small time frame. You're gonna see that at 28, we bounced, which was right here. No, right here. We did this kind of setup, but we didn't take out a high, right? Came back down, and look, wait, failed the halfback, and then boom, we took out the lows. where are you gonna look for continuation? Once we broke the 28 here, right? This wasn't going back up here. This was going to a low, which was down here. I took this short for a little bit on this candle, I think, all the way down. It wasn't much, but the thing is that if it ain't much, right, take it with a mini and then get to your goal. Be like, okay, that's where it was headed. Because otherwise you catch it up here, you catch it here, or this becomes a runner and you're good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even at that, you're going to take the play for what it is. You're not going to be like, well, I'm taking it long because there's nothing telling you that. And that's where you have to break away from. That's about everything that we have, right, Dom?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than let's go ahead and set up for tonight. That way they know how to set up
All right. So
on the 15-minute chart.
Yep, we're going to do the London close range.
And John's on Eastern time, guys. So I'm on Central, John's on Eastern. So the video's in Eastern.
We're going to take the low here.
And I do have a video on the night setup. I can post it again. It shows you how to do the 3 ranges. I'm pretty quick at it. I think it took me like 2 to 3 minutes to do it. So, and kind of mark up the chart, how I kind of mark it.
There's a little range right there. So if you're looking at this, where do we go from these highs? Boom. Now, remember, this was 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock, we started a new candle, new 4-hour candle, right? And you got to think, this is a new low, and this is your low for 4 hours right here. So what we do, we went all the way to the high, came back to the low, and now we're like at halfback somewhere over here. So
Yep.
4 hours, if you do the high from here to here, we're below halfback. You got to take that in consideration. Now we're under the halfback for that 4 hour. So we have a gap that we haven't closed yet neither. New York hasn't closed it. Does this have to go up? No, it could still literally come down here to these lows and then take off into London.
Now, John, do you normally watch the 1445 candle, your 1545, or you just normally watch the London close?
I do the, so I'll watch this candle and I'll go to 30 minutes. 30 minutes to me is gold. I want to see what it's doing on 30 minutes. So to me, if I look at this, how I look at it is that we're above a 30-minute candle. This is the low and we're holding the low. Now if we break this low, we're going to go downward. If we don't, we're going to this high. And then we got a half back up here that wasn't touched.
Yep.
Prime is going here. Then I will go to the 15. The 15. And then watch the, what is it, 45, right?
1545, which is your big blue candle. Yeah,
Right
that
here.
one right there. So basically what I use on that candle, you know, the low of the wick, you're buying, the high of the wick, you're selling. So that's basically kind of a thermometer is how I look at it.
Look how you could set.
But I use the wicks. I don't know if you use the wicks, but I use the wicks.
I mean, the wick is, so, you know, sometimes the 15 and the.
But tonight's setup, that's what I was getting ready to tell you because I already did my drawings for tonight. Look how it matches. We're pretty much balanced. The 1445 candle halfback is the same as the London close halfback. So we're pretty balanced.
We're right in the middle.
On price. So
we have like clues on the chart that we use. We got that halfback not touched, right? And we have this halfback not touched.
Yep, very important clues.
So we got clues and this halfback. So can we continue to come down? Possibly.
Yep.
And if we get this low, look how it lines up. So if it kind of lines up in between these lines right here where it could possibly turn around with time. And then if it goes up here, you know, that's near, look, the 151 up here, 151 down here. So it kind of matches up. So, you know, you kind of want to take it like that. And then now.
But we're at halfback.
Yeah, we're at halfback.
So your range, your London close range, you went from, the trend is actually, you're at the low. So trend is coming up. So you got a low, high, and we're just going to call this halfback because all this is just noise. And so this is what should happen.
Yeah.
It's what should happen. I don't mean it will happen, but that's what should happen.
Because you got to remember, in Asia, they could do whatever, and then it's going to reset into midnight.
Yeah, Asia's got free play till that 4 hour because the hour is messed up. We've already lost an hour in the 4 hours, so they've only got 3 hours. So this is where the manipulation starts. They can flip it.
Yeah. You got targets to the top side and to the bottom side. Now, if you switch over to a 30-minute, we're inside the candle also.
Same type of play on the 30-minute. Go back to your 30-minute.
I'm gonna put it on 30-minute and put the line.
Yeah, because I was going to kind of show you what the play is. So on a 30-minute candle, on that big one right there, you know, we're selling the high, we buy the low, or we buy or sell halfback. And you can see they're already buying the low. We already got 2 green candles, so we know they're buying the low.
And then look how it matches up when I put it back to the 15-minute, and then the halfback's right there. So look where we're at. This is 15-minute candle, right? But this is also the low of a 30-minute candle. So if we're holding that longer time frame, and we come down here, wick, and then do this move up, or we just keep on going up.
Yep.
One of the two. It could wick, come down,
or it fails halfback right there where we're at right now and continues down.
Yeah, if we fail this low as well, we're gonna go down to 50%, maybe 100, but 50%, and then what's probably gonna do.
But it
what it
shouldn't
could possibly
do that.
do this, come here.
It shouldn't do that though, because we're inside of London closed range.
You see, that doesn't look right, even if you put it on a chart. So you
Right.
gotta think of the formation that's gonna do it. The realistic formation that is more likely to do is gonna go sweep them highs. So it's probably gonna maybe dip here a little.
Yeah, it might do a halfback of that
go
run.
like this.
Yeah, might do a halfback.
Because that looks even more right there. Like it'll dip down, come back up, and then pop up. Because you're gonna pick up more buyers. Because this is a 15 and a 30-minute. If it holds, if it doesn't, it's probably just gonna go straight up like that.
Yep.
And we've seen that before. And the reason why is because we already swept the low, but we swept the high of a 15-minute candle.
They swept it, and then they come back down, and then they started buying it because I watched it in after hours. So,
but look at it. Look at this 30-minute. There's no sweep here. But
and there's no sweep, and they didn't touch the halfback. So that's
and we did sweep the low of the 30-minute. So
right. So they're more apt to go to that 30-minute halfback, not touched.
Yeah. So once we get above there, it's gonna. Once we get above here, you're looking for there. Now, vice versa, it comes down. We got a halfback down here. It could possibly get, and then come back up. You know, the scenarios there is almost the same scenario as this London's closed right here. It's here. Where are we going this high? The fact that it ain't take out that high right there on this candle does not mean that's a sell. It means it's going to get more buyers here.
Yep.
And all it did was take out this high. Right?
Yep. That was confirmation. You wait for the pullback.
And then boom, they shot right back up here.
Right. And that's what I was showing Nate. That was actually the perfect entry right there.
And right here.
Came back right there.
Now, say you see this and it goes like this. Are you late to a play if you're not taking it here? No, you're not. You're taking it on the momentum up. Now, if your target is there, and what everybody has to set themselves up is, like I was talking to Dobbs on the phone.
Yeah, or they could have took it right there.
To get to this target, right? Target one, right? Work on getting to that target first, right? And then work on just letting it ride. You know what I mean? Not adding, just letting it ride. Because once you get to this target, you get this 100% of the time.
Take a contract off and let one run.
And that's what you want to do. You want to build for one contract, boom, I got that play, good. And then you had 2 contracts, boom, you let target right here, let the other one ride until it takes out low. Let it ride until it takes out low. Because if you got in here in this candle, where are you losing? If it took out the low, where are you losing?
It never took out a low to right here.
Where it took out the where are you losing? When you exiting? Here? How much is that? If you took even
well,
this
right
high,
here, that candle there probably took you out.
Yeah, but if you took this candle's high 14 and you went up here and we took out this low, you get 30.
Still getting paid.
15 points.
Yep.
And what you want to do is get good at that to make that move. The bullish, this isn't going to happen all the time.
This is where you got to start. You got to start hitting first target first with one contract. And then once you start getting consistent hitting the first target, Then you add 2 contracts, you take one off
Take one
and
here,
let one
and
ride.
then you let one ride.
Yep.
And then you go for minis, you do it for minis for a while.
Micros, yep.
Micros, and then you go to a 1ES. You get this all the time, that's money. Boom.
Yep.
That's 10 to 20, that's 10 points.
Yep, that's $500 to
You
1,000.
work on the entry on this candle, and I think Nate was showing us a chart where he was buying right here, right? The problem I have with this buy, which we were all in this, Dawes was like, take it. I was like, okay, I'll take it with you. But really, I covered, like, I took it down here, and then I covered when it popped up because I ain't like it. Why? Because we didn't clear half that.
Right.
And we weren't making new highs. So look, all these candles, we weren't making new highs, right? When we started making new highs was right here. This was a new high.
But it was the same price, and that's what I was trying to show
It's almost
everybody.
same
It was
price,
actually the
but
same price.
what did we do? We dipped under the 4 hour, came back over the 4 hour into the next 4 hour, and then we made the move up. The entries were on here. Boom, you would have got it here. Now I was in here at 10 because I wanted 10. 10.20 or 10.25. So I mean, this wick down on me, it didn't matter. Then I added here, and then I exited at 22, which was my target right here. And I said it. Even when this came down here, I said my target's still 22, and that's where I exited. I just let it play out, and it got me out. Now, was I stressing? No. Why? Because I wasn't in there with a ton of contracts. I wasn't in there with a big ES. I had like 3. I had 2 contracts here, and I added 1 more here, and I exited here. That's still a good play.
The small micros, you're not going to feel the heat so bad. You're not going to be focused on that P&L.
Oh, and then
even if it goes
you
against you 10
but build the
points, you're
play.
still only down 50. So, I mean, did it hit 10-point stop? No. That was another reason why I took that trade, because I wanted to show even with the 10-point stop, it was still a winner.
We knew it was going to bounce down here, and we talked about this yesterday.
Yes, and there was other stuff.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
we prepared for this. We're not going to let you burn in this. And have we? No, we haven't. And we told you why. I told you through a chat, 28, fails 28, we're going down to this price.
Right. And I took the trade just based on the range.
Yeah,
so
the range also kicked
which was totally different. And I even explained that to you guys that don't follow me. I was taking the trade based on the range. So
okay, there's plays all over. And here's more plays on the move up yesterday. This was we're above halfback right here. London's close range was here, right? I didn't take the play here. I took the play here. And I said, we're going up to this high. So I took this long all the way up here to 20.
Yeah.
Now, did it hit 20 into the report? I think somebody was like, yeah,
so that's a nice low, high.
And this was London's close halfback down here at Held. Was I late to the play? No, confirmation was right here for me. What we do? We took out a high. Look at that. Boom. High. Halfback was hit here, right? But at this point, look, we're trading above this. There's a big difference between that candle down there.
See, that's another thing too. So that's a sweep and reclaim, just the same play that we just had this morning.
So you see, this candle, we never held the low. We never held that low. We held it, and then we did this, and then we rolled over. So I was like, oh, it doesn't look good. It failed halfback. But if we would have held halfback, it would have been all right. See, right here, boom, we holding here. Held halfback, came back, halfback, boom. Broke a new high. The new high is very important. We need to see a new high and then a halfback test. And that's going to take us up to our target. Because all these were new lows, halfback test from the bottom side. And that's the sell. Right here, sell. That's telling me sell. Right here was like, maybe, nope, sell. Now, I take the body of the candle to make sure. Sometimes it go up to here and then just keep going. I'd rather see it go up here, reject, and then see the body of the candle. Do an eye. Boom, body of candle failed. Good. Came back up. Body of candle failed. I'm good to shorten this candle. Why? Because I'm risking this high, halfback. It's above there. I got to get out.
Yep.
So here, same thing. It didn't even go to halfback on this candle. So is there entry? Possibly not. But once it breaks the lows, you could take this short.
Okay, so let's talk about risk a little bit because I noticed that, been a lot of talk about risk and reward. Do we follow risk and reward?
Yep. If your risk is minimum, your reward is going to be maximum.
Yes,
That's all we practice.
that's all we practice.
That's why you become successful. Now, Dobbs, he takes longer plays. I'm a chicken. Like, I'll take 10, 20. I'll get a lot of points during the day. I'll take a lot of trades. But I'm not doing it lately. And I'll get points up there. But realistically, my risk is less because I'm taking
Yeah.
these little plays like this.
See,
But am I wrong?
I take 2 to 3 trades a day max. That's it.
Yeah, I could take
So
up to like there's at least there's like 4 or 5 plays I could take starting from 6 a.m. If I wake up at 3, I got another 3 plays or
sure.
about 3 more plays I could take.
But not saying that I can't do it because I think there's one day I had like, what was it, 67 trades? I had 67 trades one day where I scalped. 100%
all you're
winner.
doing, like,
100% winner on all 67 trades.
Yeah, all you're doing is taking these little plays like boom right here. Now if I was short up here, I would usually short up here, and then I'll take it to a halfback. Boom, I'm out right here because it hit a halfback, and I'll take it back to the halfback, and then I'll wait for another play. Say that we're filling these halfbacks right here. I'll be short here, and I'll take it back down to the lows.
Yep, that's why we say
halfback here because we failed the halfback. We're going to halfback. There's a halfback on a 4-hour up here that hit at 31.
Yep. And that's why we say, look for the 5 to 10 points starting out with, and then
you don't have to do that. I don't have to do that at all. I do it so I could get better. You could blow up accounts as much as you can, but you're gonna get good at what you're doing. I don't call these numbers just out of luck.
nope.
I've done it, so I do it all the time. So now if I slow down on the accelerator, it's cool because I've done it so much that I literally take a lot of play. Used to take a lot of play. Now I'm slowing down to the point that I don't have to take those plays. So I'll concentrate on these smaller plays, but there's nothing wrong with banging out a whole bunch of plays and then fixing it. You know what I mean? Like not fixing it in the sense that you're gonna see how the market moves. We're gonna teach you how the market moves. The thing is that you can bang out a whole bunch of plays, but you're gonna get good at it, right? What we want to get to is not just taking 1 contract, 2 contracts. You want to take 8 contracts, start taking profit, and then leaving it for the run. You know what I mean? To target. And that's the biggest thing that you have to work on. Once you get that, I guarantee you, like with small minis, $400, $500 a day. With ES, that's where you want to move to. ES, right. You want to move to that, but there's no race in this.
No, and I think too that we need to focus more on the play. I know everybody wants to make money, that's why we're in trading, but you got to focus on the play and perfect the play. Once you perfect the play, the money's going to fall in your lap like clockwork. Trust me, it's going to fall in your lap. But you got to know the play. You got to know the play.
At the end of the day, Dobbs was telling me, yo, this thing is rolling over. There's something. I said, well, we took out 1 high, 2 highs, right? 3 highs, right? 4 highs. Shit, we almost went after this high.
Yep, almost got 5.
So what do we expect? We expect a pullback and to go test the low of that 30-minute candle. We literally did that.
Yeah, I think Trade the Risk was saying there was other things up there. There was a 4-hour. I think the London close halfback was up there.
And London's closed.
Yep, London closed.
I mean, London's open. London's closed went to London's open.
Yep, London open. So
I mean, we traded in this area. I didn't expect anything else, and I think I said I don't expect this to go.
Yep, we traded in the block box pretty much.
And I don't expect this to go anywhere. No continuation. I don't expect it to hit the gap. I expect it to do a bounce, hold down here the lows, and then come back up. Even when it was down here, I said, watch, we're gonna close above 17. I mean, we got where do we close?
Yeah, it's pretty much in the 6 a.m. range. Yep.
Literally the same place I said. Why?
Pretty much where we started.
Look at the 4 hour. That's why I have marked right there. Above this candle. All we did was sweep this high and came up and swept this high. 2 4-hour candles. Shorty here, that's usually what I would do. I was short here because I told y'all before. I said he's going to sweep the higher candles and roll over. Sweep the higher candles, roll over. Sweep the higher candles and came back down. Right? Yep. Then it held down here. London's close was very bullish. came back up and swept the highest candle. This does not mean it's a sub. It means that possibly we're going to sweep the low and come back up.
Right.
Possibly. Now,
Could just go, could run
could just go
and make a big candle. Who knows?
Yeah. Right here, the lowest candle's 14. I think what we have marked.
And the reason why I say that is because it already come up here, came back down. Now they're buying it back up. So
I mean, if you look at this low right here, we could do a half back right here, and I think this is the
that's that 15-minute, I think,
yeah
isn't
15
it?
minutes right here.
And the 30.
So it could literally come up, and if it sweeps, it's probably gonna come down to right here. But that's a far sweep right there. Usually you get a sweep like like a normal sweep in the Asia. You don't get these big sweeps.
I mean, if it's a long continuation, it really should hold half back of this candle right there.
And also that candle, this candle's the upside down hammer. This is a bullish candle.
Yep.
It's an upside down hammer. If you see it on the top side, it's an issue too. But there's upside down hammer.
Yeah, it's like a shooting star.
Yeah, almost. That means that
It's a
there's
shooter.
a lot of volume that came in, or a lot of it could be a lot of sellers covered.
They
London
covered,
was
yeah.
covered,
They
and
could
it
have
made it
covered.
go up. But now there's not enough sellers, and all it's gonna do is attract buyers. So
Yeah.
that's about it, Dobbs. I know you're market's about to open.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And hopefully this will help you guys, and I'll get this uploaded.
Do
and,
your boxes. Do your boxes. Like
Yep. And as
boxes.
price goes out of the box, you start adding your box.
Yeah.
Add the next box, duplicate it.
Because I set up the night before because I don't really trade Asia, even though I've been logging
Yep.
in, watching it.
Yep.
And then remember, halfbacks are highs become halfbacks if we go above them,
Yep.
and then they're lows. So right here,
Yep.
so that'll be
As price goes, they trade into the next range. Next
we
range
pop
box.
up. If we're popping up and we're coming back down, doesn't mean it's a sell. It means this is probably the low now, and it's probably gonna go do
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Very important.
Gapped up maybe a little bit. All right.
All right,
Sounds
that's
like a
big
wrap.
gap up. Wow, look at it.
Yep.